Our chief guest for the evening, Mr. Rahul Kumar Jain, an alumni of 2012-2013 batch who scored 99.96 percentile in CAT 2019 and pursued his MBA in one of the India's prestigious institution, IIM Ahmedabad. In the same year, he got an offer from Indian School of Business based on his score of 99.13% in GMAT 2019. He was a meritorious student who was selected for a sponsor to visit Singapore based on 3 years of his all-round performance. He was a campus winner of Bajaj Finserv Atom in 2021. Presently, he is working as a senior associate in the Boston Consulting Group. How proud we are here today have you, sir. I now request Mr. Rahul Kumar Jain to address the gathering.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here again amongst all of you. 11 years back when all of you were in PG3 and I was graduating 10th and you were moving to the first standard. And it's an absolute honor to be here, and a very, very good evening to everyone here, the management, the teaching and non-teaching staff, the parents, and of course the graduating students because of whom we are all here. Now, you all heard the introduction that ma'am very kindly gave me, but any story is not as straightforward. The outside-in view of my life is as follows. I was an Apolite and then joined, did my BBA from Bangalore itself, and then joined as a tax consultant in Ernst & Young, and then joined my family's business, and then did my MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, and then moved to consulting. This is what an outside-in view of my life looks like. However, this is largely inaccurate. This sort of does not tell you everything that goes behind it and everything that led to every next step. When I was an Apolite, all I cared about was having the most fun in life. Every moment, every day, I was exuberant. I did not think about the future. I was having a lot of friends, and I was extremely curious. Extremely curious, which sort of helped me with my academics as well. I used to keep tinkering in the science lab. I used to keep tinkering with Java code, etc. Then I completely moved to event management, business festing, organizing events in college. There's nothing else that I did. I eat, slept, breath, event management. I used to come home at 12, 1 in the night every day. And then at EVA, it was a very different journey. What happens is when you're in a formal system, like a school or in a college, there are externally imposed goals on you. There is set schedule of what is happening for you. There are set exams that you need to give. And there's a system that tells you that this is what you need to do. Once you graduate, once you leave, no one's telling you that. No one's telling you what to do in life. No one's telling you what your next aim or goal is. And that, how you deal with that is what makes the difference. And that is what I learned at EY. And caught the habit of reading then. And then in family business, I was helping my father, but not really having too much fun. I was too ambitious to sort of handle a small scale medium enterprise. And hence, I sort of started looking into MBA. Now, what happens was typical MBA students in all Indian MBA colleges are either CAs or from the Delhi University or are from IITs, engineers. And there's a very, very, very small portion that are mass media students and etc. But what worked in my favor in reaching there was I did not think of that. I did not go to a coaching class. I did not talk to students who were writing CAT. I did not talk to students who were doing this. And hence, I did not know how tough it was. That worked out in my favor. And then coming to BCG, it is building a life of harmony. Now I've realized that I'm not going to be 20s anymore. I need to build balance and etc. Now, I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to inspire you, because I personally felt that all motivation that whenever I got, it sort of fades away within a few months or in a week. Hence, I'm here to leave you with one very simple, very crisp idea, which is, next slide. Now, when I was in 10th, right, or even in college, there's one thing I did not understand about the world. I always used to think that the effort you put in is the outcome you will get. That if I put 90% of the effort, I will make 90% of what the person putting 100% of the effort will make. However, I very quickly realized, next slide, that that is not true. That the equation between effort and reward is exponential. It will not help you being second best, whether you're a sportsman, whether you are a movie leader, whether you're a film actor, whether you're a political leader. It doesn't help you to be in the opposition. Hence, even if you're putting 95% of the effort, sometimes you don't cross the threshold. And hence, the graph is always y is equal to x to the power of something. It is never y is equal to 2 into x or 3 into x or even 4 into x. It is always x to the power of something. And hence, the journey starts very slow and picks up later on. And this is the case with almost every field and everything that you do. Next slide. This is where the rich get richer, the poor get poorer sort of adage that is there in popular media comes up with. But why does that happen? The first reason is that there are thresholds. First example is, let's take the example of Shark Tank India, right? The first season had 60,000 applications, 200 of them presented to the sharks, and of them, a few were aired on air. Now the difference between someone who was ranked, the company that was ranked 210th in the list, and 190th, the outcome was vastly different. Because the one who was ranked 190th got to air on the show, got the publicity, media, visibility, mentorship, etc. that comes with being on Shark Tank. But the company that was ranked 210th did not get any of that. Out of 60,000 applications, they still made it to 210, but it still did not work. Hence, there are thresholds to what you do. Every exam you write, there'll be a set number of seats that are available. Every opportunity that you vie for, whether it is a job, even if you're a sports person. For example, let's say when you're 10 years old, and there's a badminton sort of incubation or a ground accelerator going on, and there are 10 seats. Even if you were the 11th best player, the 10-year-old who was ranked 10 will start going to that coaching because he was selected in the top 10, and that sort of brings a big difference later on. Next slide. The second big reason, next slide. The second big reason is exponential growth. What you do initially sort of multiplies and adds to that power equation. For example, it is far easier for a grade 8 student to learn physics if he has learned English, math very well in grade 5. If you have not learned things really well in grade 5, it sort of makes it difficult later on. However, it is not as bleak as I'm telling you. I'm not telling you that all is lost if the opportunity is not well. Next slide. So these are the two reasons why it's sort of this exponential graph plays on. One is thresholds, and second is exponential growth. And exponential growth is also happening in the world, right? Across industries, the world was sort of where a reset, and post that, you see information technology has exponentially grown. The cost of logistics has exponentially reduced. Globalization of trade has exponentially increased. Culture. A lot of you here have been, I'm sure, have seen Japanese animes, Korean drama, K-drama, etc. Because the cost of language transformation has also changed. Culture is easy to move, people are easy to move, goods are easy to move, and information has become easier to move. And hence, it leads to exponential growth. If a filmmaker in Zambia in Africa has done a really good job, his work will travel the entire world, and he will see exponentially great results. Even in military and even in government tenders. Once Larsen & Toubro won the first few projects, it became much easier for Larsen & Toubro to win other government tenders and projects. These things apply across industries. Next slide. However, you can join the exponential path at any age, given that before you join that path, you have put in that kind of effort. Early childhood, late teens, even in your 40s, even post 60s, you can join the exponential path, given that you do the next three things. Next slide. It takes three things, according to me, to join this exponential path. First is dedicated focus and commitment before you join that path, not just after it, right? Next, you need to see the road ahead of you far more clearly than you see the stars. Now, when I was in the halls of IMA, everyone around me used to keep telling that a central banker, Raghuram Rajan, was studied in the same class as you. The voice of cricket, Harsha Bhogle, studied in the same class as you. The CEO of MasterCard, CEO of Pepsi. So many great people studied in the exact same institution. However, that is not what you can be thinking. You can't keep thinking that if I was the central bank, I would be doing this, this is what I would do, this is what I want to get. You need to do well in the immediate next step in your curriculum at IMA, in your first job, in your second job. You need to do well in your first project, etc. as well, so that you can reach the star. Because doing well initially will put you on that exponential path. Third, as I was mentioning, you have to sort of be okay with the fact that externally imposed goals, schedule, discipline will start fading away. As you graduate from school, as you graduate from college, as you become senior leaders, it will start fading away. Hence, you are only answerable to yourself. Next slide. So this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to leave you with this one very simple idea that returns are exponential. So what happens is, in many times, even in my career, the amount of success that you see when you're 31 is cumulative of all the success you have seen throughout your life. A lot of that happens, and hence, keep this one idea in your mind. This is something I did not know when I was 10 years old. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind and motivating words. Your wisdom and encouragement has inspired us all. We are deeply grateful for your presence and the insights you have shared. Now I request our Vice Chairperson to felicitate Mr. Rahul Kumar Jain with a memento. Thank you, ma'am. I now request you to impart your insights and words of wisdom to our graduating class 2024.
Teachers, principals of various organizations of mine, grandparents, teachers, support staff, and everybody present here, on behalf of the management of Apollo National Public School, I welcome you all to a very special, momentous occasion, our Graduation Day 2024. It was a very proud moment even though I was not a part of the administration committee when Rahul was studying here, to actually have Rahul here come prepared with slides and actually give reality of what life is for my children. Because probably if we have an inspirational or motivational speaker here, you could get it somewhere else. But reality of life is what he showed here. Because this is what you need to face, compete with people around you, and I hope you listen to him very carefully, that you're not just competing with people with a vast sled, but there's a threshold to everyone where you're competing with, which is why you need a lot of preparedness for it. Did you listen to him? Yes? Yes.